What's up, beautiful people? It's your boy Judeo, and I'm back again with a new video. Today we're going to be checking out another video by Andrew Tate, and this one has a very interesting title and I'm excited to see it. It's titled "What to Do If Your Family Doesn't Support You." So it's going to be a learning moment. I think so. I'm ready. Without wasting your time, let's get to it.
What's the biggest deciding factor, Andrew, that separates you from the 90%, the retards, the people who don't want it? Why do you make the
90% of retards
decision to go and get it, but most people don't? What's the biggest? Is it the way you grew up? Is it the fighting? Is it being broke?
That's a good question, and that actually leads into my other question fantastically, which is amazing.
It's like a conglomeration of toxic masculinity. I'm sure that's what most people are thinking.
I was raised for competence, and I was raised for excellence. Mm-hmm. So to a degree, I can say that I'm lucky by the fact that I had such fantastic parents, and that they told me from a very, very young age who I had to be and how I had to live. I hear a lot of things from people saying, if your father's too amazing and he can overshadow you and it makes the kid fail. I can't speak to that because I had the complete opposite experience. My father was my hero. I wanted to be exactly like him. And all I had to do was copy him and do as I was told. And I was going to be fantastic. I learned how to listen at a very young age. Mm-hmm. I learned how to obey.
Important skill, very important.
Obey my elders, do as I was told, eat my vegetables. My life has never truly fucked up. There's a lot of successful people who will tell you like, yeah, my life fucked up and then I recovered. I went to jail. I got out, all this shit. My life's never fucked up. My life has always been wake up, do the fucking work. That's all it's ever been. And if you wake up and do the fucking work.
But I like his mindset though, He's not acknowledging the fuck ups. I know everybody has fuck ups, but he's not letting the fuck ups cloud his mindset. So I like it.
Every single day. I'm 36 years old. How can I not have hundreds of millions of dollars? All I've done is work. All I've done is get up and do what I'm supposed to do. All I've done is get up, eat right, train, work, answer the call, be on time. Like, how am I going to not have hundreds of millions of dollars? It's almost like I don't understand how you messed that up. People are just lazy. So, but that feeds into my other question I'll ask all of you. How big of an impact do you think family has on a man? Because I think we're speaking majorly to men. And what advice would you give to men who love their family and they know their family love them, but their family are not living the lives they want to live? The advice they're giving is not the advice they want to follow. Like, do you have any stories or do you have any advice, or what kind of impact do you think a negative family environment can have on a man? And what should you do in a scenario when his parents truly love him and truly care for him, but they're telling him to like put on a mask and go to college?
Mm-hmm. Like every family.
Oh, so there you go. So we have an interesting story coming up.
Okay.
My dad has recently been telling me, since I've been getting into the red pill and getting to these ideas and fully devoting myself to this message, that now he agrees with a lot of what I say. And he's blue pilled. We can't talk about a lot of the things, but he did what 85% of the population did. Yeah. He went to college, told me to go to.
That's considered normalcy.
College, told all my siblings to go to college, but ultimately he did give up on his dream. His dream was to be a filmmaker, was to be a creative, and he decided to fully devote himself to his family. And for me, that gave me the opportunity to fully focus on what I wanted to do, because we came up in a good household.
Yeah.
He was there. He was a good inspiration. He was a good role model, just like your dad. Yeah. But I had to separate from a lot. I disappointed him in a lot of ways. Dropping out of school, dropping out of college, they didn't talk to me for a long time. Mm-hmm. Not taking what everybody else was taking, they were really upset with me. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat can relate. They ended up taking something that everybody else is saying, that you're a bad person, you're going to kill my grandma if you don't take this too. Yeah. So I think you just have to decide for yourself what's the best for yourself and make the sacrifice that you're going to upset your family eventually.
Yeah, I don't think people understand this, but dropping out of college when your parents do not support you is a very lonely road. Literally you don't have anybody to talk to if you needed help. Let's say you need money and you call your home. What is going to happen is going to be, I asked you to go to school. By now you would have been working and making your own money. So it's a very lonely path. It's a struggle.
What about you?
Most people won't relate.
So I had two examples in my life. Robert, because I guess it talks about rich dad, poor dad. So I have my real dad, which is basically a deadbeat dad, but that's my dad. And I have my granddad. And growing up, I was supposed to follow the family blueprint, which is go to school, get a degree, to go to family business. But I saw my dad and I was like, damn, like he's pretty much just like living life, doing whatever he wants, but he's not responsible. But my granddad was like an anchor. He was like the one taking care of the family, took us on trips. He bought me a car, bought my mom a house. It's like, damn, he's the man of the household. So I had to make a choice. Who do I want to follow? My dad or my granddad? And I chose my granddad because for me personally, my dad would say, "Hey, son, I'll come pick you up." He never would show up. My dad would say, "Hey, son, I'll come pick you up." He'd always show up on time. So me personally is making a choice to say, you know what? Who do I want to be like more? My granddad or my dad? And I chose my granddad. So for me, just making a choice.
Okay. I think all of us have that voice in our head that tells us what we're supposed to be doing. If you know you're supposed to be great, that voice in you is going to tell you that. You can choose to listen to it, or you can choose to let the weaker voice inside of you suppress what you know you are meant to be. So as long as you listen to the voice that tells you that you're supposed to be great and you're supposed to be doing things that are bigger and better,
and you follow the voice
doing, I think you're okay. Now you have to be strong enough to fight the suppression that's going to come towards you from your family.
100%.
And once you decide to do that, everybody will say that
you're wrong.
It's dangerous until you've made it. Case in point, Sneeko. You know, your dad.
And this is not necessarily hate. They're just being careful for you. It's love. Even love can, someone who loves you can tell you don't do it.
Said no.
They're just projecting fear.
The following, and then he's like, okay, I see it. Same thing with my dad. My dad was always, son, don't you think that's enough? Don't you think that's enough? No. Now he's like, son, I've never seen anybody work as hard as you. And he truly respects me. So a lot of times people don't believe in you until you finally arrived. So I think that's something very important to remember. In addition to that, I always say that suppression is wrapped in love. So a lot of times if people are uncomfortable with the things that you're doing, just remember that you are directly intimidating them by the actions that you took in spite of their inactions. Just remember that.
I like that.
That's a good point. And I get this all the time. People message me saying, hey, my family's not supportive of what I want to do. And my family don't believe I should try and do this, or my family thinks I should go down this route. And my answer has been pretty generic so far, but it seems to be effective. I think the number one thing that especially parents are worried about when they see their children is they don't like the idea of seeing them be lazy. So people message me, go, I don't want to go to college. My parents want me to go to college. I say, well, have you sat down with your parents and explained to them what you're going to do with all those years instead? Have you sat there and said, look, I'm not going to go to college.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
6 hours a day doing this, 2 hours a day doing this, 1 hour a day in the gym.
Don't just say you don't want to go to college and then chill at home and do nothing.
Across next year, I'll be doing this apprenticeship, this certification. I'll be able to go here and do this. I'm going to get this passport. I'm going to go here. Or if you just said, I don't want to go to college and turn the TV back on. Why do you think they want you to go to college, right? It doesn't matter what you do. I think if you're a child and you explain to your parents or all the people who love you or the people around you are trying to push you in a certain direction and say, look, I have a plan. This is what it is. I have a finite amount of time on the planet. I'm going to dedicate it towards X. I'm going to make sure this is successful. I'm going to do it right. And you show competence and you show that you genuinely give a shit and you're up before them and go to sleep after them. They're not going to hate on anything you do. I think a lot of the people are saying, oh, my parents are trying to suppress me. No, what your parents are trying to do is inspire you to do something because you're a lazy fuck and you ain't doing shit. And I completely understand that. If you have a fucking teenage son sitting around smoking weed, you want to send his ass to college. What else is he going to let him do? Sit there and smoke weed?
Good point.
If you were genuinely up grinding, even if you weren't making money, if you were in the gym every day and you're a bodybuilder and you look like a tank, they'd still be a bit like, all right, he's doing something. I mean, like, at least he ain't just sitting around, right? So I think that's the biggest thing. When your family, you nailed it with the suppression love. When your family are trying to hold you back, what they're trying to do is make you do something because they think you're doing nothing. Because if you were doing enough, they wouldn't really be so concerned with what you were doing at all. It's about output more than what you're putting your output into. It's just about doing something, existing in the world.
And to your point, Andrew, so for example, even myself, like my mom would say, don't go to America. It's dangerous. Don't go over there. You might end up dead. And I was like, you know what, Mom? My granddad did the same thing. He left Barbados, came to America, and became successful. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave school. I'm sorry to say, I love you, but I don't want to follow. I don't want to follow the family path. I want to do what my granddad did. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna sell my bike, sell my truck, and move it to America. She's like, don't go, son. It's dangerous. I can't have you going there. I said, look, I love you, Mom. But here's my plan. I'm coming to America. I'm gonna retire you and be successful. That's it. And I did it. So me having that talk to her made her feel a little bit comfortable, but like still, she's like, you know what? Don't go. It's dangerous, and you gotta make a choice, man. Yeah. So,
all right. So before I give my answer, I'm gonna.
Oh, the video didn't have his answer. I wanted to see what the last person was gonna say too. You know, it was a roundtable conversation, so I wanted to see what everybody had to say. But yeah, that was a very, very good one right there. Good topic, good points raised. But especially I like the points from Andrew Tate and the other guy, the white guy. Yeah, they gave very, very good points. So you have to prove to your parents that you're actually doing something, you know, to make sure or for them to make sure you're not just sitting at home being lazy, because your parents, for the most part, they are concerned about you. And it's usually love. You know, when you hear parents say, be an engineer, be a medical doctor. Sometimes parents like the prestige of being a medical doctor, but for the most part, they just want you to be able to take care of yourself in future, you know, buy a house for yourself and, you know, not be dependent on them. So they are concerned. And then the other point where, what's the other point? I think I forgot the other point. I think he was speaking about projection of fear, something Jay-Z said one time in his interview. So people around you really love you. And when they say you can't do this thing, it's not necessarily because they don't want you to succeed in it, but for the most part, they are concerned about you and they're projecting their own fear, probably because they tried and they failed. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on that one. If you want us to bring more videos like this to the channel, or if you want to see more of Andrew Tate, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Send me the titles of the videos you want to see in particular. Send me the links, you know, talk to me. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. It's the end of this one. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a very wonderful day. Peace.